Good morning. Showdown workers to march today. Others told to stay home as Prime Minister Davis appeals for unity, not grandstanding. Retired Anglican Archbishop Drexel Gomez, dead at 88. And we are observing Geospatial Week. What is it all about? We'll tell you coming up. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Wednesday, October 15th, 2025. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Chester Robards will be joining us. Also this morning, it is October. That means it's Breast Cancer Awareness Group. We'll tell you about the work of GD Cancer Support Group and what they are hoping to do for the community. And later in business, it's our monthly series of Bristol Wines and Spirits. It's all straight ahead on this Wednesday. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning.
Wake up, wake up.
In the overnight, after Prime Minister Philip Davis last night appealed for a recommitment to partnership and an end to grandstanding and public drama, Bahamas Union of Teachers President Belinda Wilson said plans are still on for a mass saw today and similar industrial action across the nation. At the heart of the dispute is the timing of the payout of salary increases to public servants, with the BUT and the Bahamas Public Service Union demanding those payments be made in the October pay period. The Prime Minister reiterating in a national address last night that the money will come before Christmas. He said the issue is not one of cash flow, but an administrative process. The Prime Minister speaking directly to the nation after canceling a follow-up meeting that was set for yesterday with the union leaders to try to resolve their concerns. Davis calling off that meeting after Wilson threatened industrial action after he met with her and other union officials at his office on Monday. Wilson is demanding that the raises apply to at all levels and be retroactive to September 2024. The Prime Minister's appeal for progress and respectful conversation fell on deaf ears, apparently, as Wilson said her call for members to gather this morning still stands. The union leaders have called on workers to march this morning. Wilson's also advising that teachers in Grand Bahama gather outside the office of the Prime Minister in Freeport and for Family Island teachers to stay at home. Meanwhile, Deputy Leader Shandon Cartwright says the government's response to the members of the BUT and the BPSU has been, quote, arrogant and lacking compassion. He's calling for negotiations regarding promised salary reviews to continue. Cartwright saying in a statement, quote, we call upon the government to resist the arrogance, to show a duty of care for these hardworking public service workers. The government ought to get back to the negotiation table and give the people what you promised. The Bahamas plans to abstain from a vote this week on the adoption of the International Maritime Organization's net zero framework if that vote goes forward. This, given that the country has some concerns about how effective the NZF will actually be in curbing greenhouse gas emissions through maritime company compliance with the framework. Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell tells us yesterday about the plan to abstain if the vote moves forward. So the country wrote to the IMO, a specialized agency of the UN responsible for the safety, security, and environmental performance of international shipping. The country asked for a postponement of the vote. His comments coming a few days after U.S. threw a statement from the State Department that a country voting in favor of the NZF would face economic and geopolitical consequences. And retired Anglican Archbishop Drexel Gomez, who provided decades of religious leadership across the region, died at home Tuesday morning. Born in Bullocks Harbor, the Barry Islands, Gomez moved to New Providence at the age of 7 and lived on McCullough Corner off East Street. He was ordained to the diaconate on December 21st, 1959, and to the priesthood February 1st, 1961. Gomez served as the bishop of the Diocese of Barbados from 1972 to 1993, bishop of the Diocese of the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos from 1996 to 2008, and Archbishop of the Province of the West Indies from 1998 to 2008. After retiring from Episcopal ministry in 2009, he remained involved in the church, providing guidance and commentary on topical issues. Prime Minister Philip Davis said Gomez was a pillar of the religious community. In a statement, the Anglican Diocese gave thanks for Gomez's life. Anglican Bishop Laish Boyd also paid tribute to the retired bishop, saying his contributions spanned the diocese, the community of the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos, the province of the West Indies, and the worldwide Anglican community. Drexel Gomez was 88. Trump threatening to pull the nation's internal politics don't align with his interests in upcoming elections, led by a political kindred spirit whose philosophy is similar to that of the Republican. The comments coming during a meeting with Argentine Javier, who's kind to hold midterm elections for its legislative body later this month. U.S. presidents do not be in on the candidates in the country's democratic elections, referring to an opponent who was extremely far left and in quote, philosophy that got Argentina into this problem in the first place. Trump warned that the United States wouldn't, quote, waste our time if Milei does not prevail. In addition to the midterms that will be a referendum on his policies, Milei himself is up for re-election in 2027. And the United States struck in the waters off Venezuela, according to U.S. President Donald Trump. It's the fifth deadly strike in the Caribbean as drug traffickers as unlawful with military force. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth ordered the strike late Tuesday morning, according to the president, who released a video. Hegseth later shared the video in a post on Twitter. The black and white video in the water, since a projectile from overhead explodes. It is floating aflame for several seconds. Trump says it struck in international waters and that intelligence confirmed the narcotics and was associated with a narco-terrorist network and was a known drug trafficking route. The Pentagon did not immediately email from the Associated Press seek information on boat strike, but one defense official confirmed that the details in the social media post were accurate, officials speaking on condition of anonymity. Sports. The resurgence of mini basketball play in the Bahamas has officially begun. The Island Youth Basketball League, powered by Ballin' by the Beach, tipping off its fall jamboree Thursday at the Kendall Isaacs Gym. The mini basketball league, founded by Jarrell Mullings and Neville Manny Adderley, set to cater to boys and girls from K4 to grade 8. Players from various age groups participated in combined rotations, which include warm-ups and scrimmages, along with a team draft reveal among elite coaches. More on that in today's Guardian Sports section. The Bahamas team delivering a strong and spirited performance in the Caribbean Golf Association's four-ball tournament in Montego Bay, overcoming difficult weather conditions and a dramatically different mountainous course. Team Bahamas finishing fourth overall, behind host country Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, and Bermuda in that order. Jamaica winning with 91 total points. Trinidad and Tobago coming with 90. Bermuda with 79. The Bahamas competing in all six divisions, finishing with 60 total points. For Major League Baseball, relying on On an old-school pitching strategy, has the defending World Series champions, the Los Angeles Dodgers, 2 wins from returning to the Fall Classic. Yoshinobu Yamamoto throwing a 3-hitter for the first postseason complete game in 8 years as the Dodgers beat the slumping Milwaukee Brewers 5-1 Tuesday to extend their lead in the National League Championship Series. Yamamoto's gem in Gem 2 coming one night after 2-time Cy Young Award winner Blake Snell allowed 1 hit over 8 shutout innings for a 2-1 victory. And the Dallas Mavericks have again extended the contract of coach Jason Kidd, who led them to the NBA Finals as a coach 2 seasons ago and a championship as their point guard in 2011. The Mavericks announcing Tuesday night that they have agreed to a multi-year extension, but didn't reveal the length or any other details of the deal for Kidd, who's going into his 5th season as their coach. His first multi-year extension came in the middle of the 2024 playoffs when they made the NBA Finals before losing to Boston. And U.S. President Donald Trump threatening to relocate World Cup matches set to be played next year in suburban Boston after suggesting that parts of the city had been taken over by unrest. Foxborough, Massachusetts, home of the NFL's New England Patriots and about 30 miles from Boston, is set to stage matches as the U.S. co-hosts the 2026 World Cup with Mexico and Canada. Trump was asked about Boston's mayor, Michelle Wu, a Democrat, whom he called, quote, intelligent but radical left. Trump said the World Cup games, quote, we could take them away. I love the people of Boston, and I know the games are sold out, but your mayor is not good. He suggested that they're taking over parts of Boston without offering details, but added, quote, we could get them back in about 2 seconds. The Trump administration has already deployed National Guard troops to Washington and Memphis, and efforts to do so in Chicago and Portland, Oregon have sparked legal fights. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Your first look at weather brought to you by Star General. Here's what's happening. We've got a dissipating stationary front that's going to move swiftly across these Bahamas today. Widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms are occurring ahead and behind that frontal boundary. Meanwhile, behind the front, dry, stable air and moderate winds will dominate weather across the northern and northwestern Bahamas today. There is a marginal risk for isolated, strong to possibly severe thunderstorms across the southeastern Bahamas and portions of the central islands today. And there is a marginal flood risk for these areas during heavy or prolonged rainfall events in low-lying and flood-prone areas. And across the country, there remains a moderate risk of rip currents along Atlantic-exposed shorelines and beaches. Beachgoers and small craft operators should exercise caution. Your forecast for the northern half of the country, partly to mostly sunny today, turning fair tonight. Only about a 10% chance of isolated showers. We might be able to dry out a little bit today. Winds north to northeast at 10 to 15 knots. Slightly different story for the central and southeast Bahamas, partly cloudy to cloudy. 8% chance of scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, higher chances in the southeast Bahamas. Winds northeast at 10 to 15 knots for the central islands, but light and variable at 10 knots or less for the southeastern Bahamas. Temperatures today in the mid to upper 80s for most areas, around 29, 30 Celsius. Heat index won't necessarily be a factor, but for the southeast Bahamas, highs around 90 Fahrenheit. The heat index will make it feel like it's 104 Fahrenheit. That's about 32 Celsius, 40 Celsius with the heat index. Overnight lows tonight in the mid to upper 70s for the northern half of the country, around 24, 25 Celsius. In the upper 70s, around 79 Fahrenheit, 26 Celsius for the central and southeast Bahamas tonight. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook and look at the tropics coming up in just a bit. This weather check brought to you by Star General Insurance, made simple.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new.
It is time for a break, but when we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
It's a new day. It's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
In uncertain times, resilience is everything. That's why CFAL is inviting you to the financial services event of the year, the 2025 CFAL Pension and Economic Conference. It all happens Thursday, October 16th at 8 a.m. at the Grand Hyatt Baha Market. Theme Resilience in the Face of Global Uncertainty. This half-day conference is your chance to gain powerful insights on navigating today's shifting global economy. This is the premier networking and knowledge-sharing event of the year, and you cannot afford to miss it. So secure your spot today at www.cfal.com.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Tis the season for dreams to come true. There's Santa for the kids and CIBC Caribbean for you. Whether it's a house, land, vehicle, or upgrading your home, CIBC Caribbean can support financing you need. Enjoy incredible cashback deals with mortgages and land loans. Plus, your approved loan gives you a chance to win up to US $5,000. Apply now at www.cibccaribbean.com/sweeten the season. Terms and conditions apply.
Looking to elevate your gadget game, or are tech troubles simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows, or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Cades Village, or call 396-1100.
Wake up, it's a new day.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
This October, Bahama invites you to indulge your senses. Arts Festival, where world-class flavors meet breathtaking creativity in the heart of the Bahamas. Join us October 22nd through 26th for an unforgettable celebration featuring culinary legends Daniel Boulud, Marcus Samuelson, Dario Cecchini, and Simeon Hall Jr., alongside a vibrant lineup of Bahamian chefs and mixologists. Explore captivating art installations, interactive workshops, and live performances, all set against the stunning backdrop of Nassau's premier luxury resort. And don't miss an electrifying live performance by global superstar Lenny Kravitz, headlining the festival's welcome party on Friday, October 24th, with a concert experience you won't forget. This is more than a festival, it's a feast for the soul. Tickets and packages are going fast. Visit Bahamar.com to reserve your spot at the Culinary and Arts Festival at Bahamar, where taste and talent take center stage. Bahamar, life spectacular.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us. You covered.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas, Channel 969, and BTC Flow, Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line, powered by BTC, 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. Once again, I am Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Chester Robards will be joining us. Got a lot to talk about on this Wednesday morning. A lot happening in the news. We're going to get to that. We're talking with the GD Cancer Support Group about the work they're doing and the help they need from the community. And later, we're talking about Geospatial Week at UB. It's going on all week long. We'll get the details about what that is all about. Lots of questions. And later, it's our monthly series with Bristol Wines and Spirits. So that's all ahead. But right now, let's get into what else is in the news. And in the news, of course, we're going to talk about the showdown and what's supposed to happen today with unions and the Prime Minister's address and why this is happening, because I need to know. I don't know if Chester knows what's going on. Good morning, Chester Robards. I'm not sure what this is all about, because I think we've missed enough school. We've had enough days off every day. We had one day off this week for at least 3 to 4 weeks now, for various reasons, but this is not making sense. But anyway, we'll get to that in a bit. Of course, the tributes are pouring in, remembering Archbishop Drexel Gomez, retired Anglican Archbishop Drexel Gomez, passed away yesterday. Lots of wonderful tributes in the Nassau Guardian today about this man whose wise counsel we could probably use quite a bit of right now. But we are remembering him and keeping his family in our prayers, and you can join in as well. This morning, if you wish, you can text us 422-4796 or call in 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, or toll free 242-300-5720. Interesting ads in the papers today. Both papers, yes. The National Guardian and the Tribune. Full page ad on the back page.
That's lovely.
It's titled "Summer in MyCal," and he's campaigning hard to be the candidate for MyCal. This is Robert Karen, who huge Karen. Lots of photos of his summer in MyCal. It sounds like a movie. You should have a movie.
Go ahead, right? It looks like a movie.
Summer in MyCal.
I bet if you flip all the pictures together, it'll create a nice scene.
Once upon a time, when I was a young man in 2025, I spent a summer in MyCal.
Go ahead, Robert.
Here's my story. Interesting stuff. Lots of
holding the babies. That's a good look.
Got to hug the babies. So hey, we're expecting many more full page ads from all the candidates. Keep it coming. Try to top that one. Okay. Anyway, so the big headline in the National Guardian: showdown. Workers to march today. Others told to stay home. This is despite Prime Minister Davis last night calling for a recommitment to partnership and an end to the grandstanding and public drama. The Prime Minister holding that after he canceled his meeting with Belinda Wilson, the president of the Bahamas Union of Teachers, and Kimsley Ferguson, the president of the Bahamas Public Service Union, because of how the meeting on Monday, which was a holiday, and he said he was told that if he doesn't do what they want, they're going to call for a strike. And he says with that type of attitude, he can't continue to negotiate like that. So here's a bit of what the Prime Minister had to say last night, and we'll get to what the unions are telling their folks to do or get ready to do this morning. So take a listen. It was a rather long address. Was much said? I'm not too sure. But this is probably the meat of it. Take a listen to Prime Minister Philip Davis last night.
Some have asked, what is the grievance? There is no grievance here. The grandstanding and public drama do not change the fact that this government is paying workers as promised. So the question must be asked, is the objection to the fact that we are paying? Surely no one can object to fairness being delivered. There's a proper procedure for filing grievances. That process is always available. But let's be clear. This situation is not about a grievance. It is about the government doing what is right by its workers before they can be members of any place of the government. That is why I'm speaking directly to you tonight, because not all public officers are union members, but every single one of you serves this nation. You deserve to hear from your Prime Minister directly. Workers should always be beneficiaries of our negotiations, but never pawns when we disagree, when politics, personal ambition, or theatrics replace genuine advocacy. It is the workers who suffer, and I will never allow that to happen. I know that progress is still needed for some categories of workers, and we are continuing to review these cases. We are not finished, but we are further along than we have been in a very, very long time. We may have our differences in approach in looking after workers, but our common goal must always be the same, to improve the lives of Bahamian workers. That is what binds us. That is what should guide us forward. We are not done. The next step is to modernize our labor laws to meet the realities of today's world. Work has changed, families have changed, and the laws that protect our workers must change too. We have already started public consultation on our labor reform proposals, and I encourage every Bahamian, every worker, employer, and union leader to take part. It's about building a modern Bahamas, one where work is respected, families are supported, and fairness runs through everything we do. This coming Thursday, I'll meet with Sandra Major, President of BECAWU, and representatives from BEMU to continue that national conversation about how we keep moving forward together. I've always respected the role of unions in our national story. My mother and father were trade unionists. My mother, a member of the Hotel Catering and Allied Workers Union, and my father, an officer of the Public Service Union. They have fought for fairness and have shaped a better Bahamas. But we must remember something. Progress comes from partnership, not confrontation. Others might want a fight, but a fight gets us nowhere. What we need right now, we need respectful conversation. We need to respect each other. We achieve nothing when we talk over one another. We achieve nothing by trading words in the press instead of sitting down and working things through. I believe discussions work best when there's mutual respect and trust. I've always been a respectful and patient listener, and I'm open to any conversation held in good faith. But I will not take part in any process where dark clouds of threats hang over the table. That is not how I was raised. That is not how I lead. I don't believe in shouting matches or grandstanding. Cussing and carrying on don't work for brave. We are adults, and we should act like it. Real progress happens when grown men and women sit down, listen, and reason with each other. That's how we build solutions that last. This is not a moment for shouting. It's a moment for solutions. Shouting loudly might work for some, but it does not work for me. And if some people are upset because I pay our Bahamian workers after years of stagnation, if that decision offends them, my only response is, I don't need permission to do the right thing. We didn't increase pay to score points. We did it because it was time, because Bahamian workers deserved it. So every mother, every father, every working Bahamian, this progress is about you. It's about making your life a little easier, your work a little fairer, and your family a little stronger. We can't do that by fighting. We can only do it by talking, by listening, and by understanding that respect must flow both ways. When we listen to each other, everyone moves forward. That is what I am asking for tonight, a recommitment to partnership. Let's sit down. Let's talk. Let's find solutions. Let's not lose sight of what matters most, the well-being of Bahamian families. I will not sit in any room where respect is not mutual and shouting is the only tool on the table. My friends, tonight, I will always speak to you directly. I will always fight for fairness, and I will always put the Bahamian worker first. The salary review being released tonight is proof of our commitment. The labor reforms now under consultation are proof of our vision for the future. And the steady improvements you've already seen in pay, benefits, and opportunity are proof that we are keeping our word. We have come too far to turn back now. Let's keep walking forward together, calmly, confidently, and with hope. May God bless each of you, your families, and the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
All right, Prime Minister Philip Davis last night, his national address. Okay, so let's get to what the union said, and then we'll get to everything what's going on here, whether you think any of this is necessary. Moments after that, the unions said nothing that changed, right? Wilson is saying, quote, in a voice note, "This is Belinda Wilson, president of the Bahamas National Alliance Trade Union Congress and Bahamas Union of Teachers, sending a clarion call to join me and Kimsley Ferguson, president of the BPSU and first vice president of the Bahamas National Alliance Trade Union Congress, for a Power to the People March on Wednesday, October 15th, 2025 at 9 a.m. In Nassau, all roads lead to Bay Street, Rawson Square, the People's Square. We will assemble at the Old City Market parking lot at 9 a.m. In a voice note yesterday, Ferguson also called on union members to come out in support and, quote, make it known that the power of the people is greater than the people in power. The essence of trade unionism is social uplift. The labor movement has been the haven for the dispossessed, the despised, the neglected, the downtrodden, and the poor. That which appears radical or rude is only a passionate plea on behalf of the oppressed. As a new generation of leaders has emerged from the struggles of oppression, we rise and sacrifice ourselves for the cause of those who cannot speak for themselves. What is happening? What is going on? What are we missing? Is something not connecting for the end of the year, Christmas? Okay. The union is saying we want it.
He's talking about about payments, pay, but there are other issues that they have been going on about for a long time.
Like what?
Other,
because it seems like it's only
not living up to certain things. I mean, it can't just be that.
What else have you heard?
It can't just be that. I'm just talking about things that have
there's always something
undone.
But that's not what we're hearing. It seems to be all about the pay.
But like I said, it must be more than that.
Wow. So Chester asked a good question off air. Was it the right move for the Prime Minister to do a national address? Was it a right move for the unions to go ahead with their action today?
Well, it was a national address for a little tiny specter of the society. I mean, not tiny, but it's sizable, but still.
Yes. The teachers and the public service union, I mean, a lot will be impacted today.
Yeah. But I mean, they would need a national address.
This industrial action could prove problematic. So perhaps. But was anything said?
But that's my point. What tangible? I mean, he didn't make any action that's going to stop this reaction.
Mm-hmm.
He just says, "This is what we're doing. This is what we've done. Don't be upset." I don't know. Is that what the bottom line was?
I don't know.
Give us some time. I wasn't sure.
It's gonna happen, so be patient.
Right. I don't know.
There's no reason to act now.
I mean, it seems like he spent a lot of time saying that he doesn't react to screaming and cussing.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
and that this is not the way. Right. And this is not the way to come to him. Not to do what you want to do, to come to him. He said, "Brave, don't respond to that."
Mm-hmm.
Did we need a national? I mean, if he's talking to them directly, we didn't need a national address for that. But I'm just
and
saying.
For anyone else who might think this will work.
Oh, maybe that's what
right.
it is. Yeah.
Don't try
to me with
not this Prime Minister
screaming and cussing.
All right. Well, let's hear from you. What do you think of this? Give us a call. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free 242-300-5720. And just before we get to the calls, I mean, I'm wondering, maybe they know something. Maybe the union leaders know that no matter what these people say, you can't trust it, and that we better get it now before the excuse in December. Maybe that's it.
Are you going to get it?
Are you going to get it in October?
Yeah.
If you carry on? I don't know. But why carry on when it is, again, in less than 2 months?
And again, if it was absolutely available right now, why not do it? Why wait till December?
Well, he said in the address it's not a cash flow issue.
Okay. So what's the problem then?
What's that grunting sound? You're not buying it? Although, and if you listen to Nailed It here on Guardian Radio on Thursdays, this show on Thursday, I encourage everyone to go and listen to that one they had last week. Mm-hmm. They have been promised something by several administrations, and it ain't happening. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. There are no licensed contractors in this country.
I did a story on
that. Right, because it was promised by a certain time again, and here they are, all these years, almost decades now, and still nothing. So maybe the unions have a reason not to believe anything coming from the government. But maybe. I don't know.
As much people as get swung by unlicensed contract. There are no licensed contractors.
Contractors.
By contractors who claim to know how to do the job.
Right.
and then just take people's money, you would think that the government would have fixed it a long time.
You said people who gets, because that's people as us. And I don't know if they really care about us. And that's our
Bottom line.
government. Several administrations have failed to make this happen. Let's get this call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Chef. How you doing, my brother?
Good. How you doing?
All is fine. Good morning, my beloved BME people who I love dearly. Right, as I listened to the speech a while ago. It was a nice speech with the Prime Minister. That's what I mean. You know, and I like one or two things in the speech when he said that he can deal with just for the whole entire Bahamas. You see, right? A lot of people love the Bahamas, but they don't love the BME people. You know, the living president, Marla Butler, Pop Simonet, that's what it was, Field Walker. They were real Bahamians. Indiana, they love the BME. They love our country. See why I'm saying this. Belinda Wilson and Fergie, they from Saxon, they easy. They passive. But see, Dwight, you're not getting nothing done. I keep telling you in this country, and you have to stand up and stand. You have to the Prime Minister be here, yeah? Respect us you. But you got to respect the BME people too. You can't keep promising, man. The BME people don't believe in politicians. I talk about the PLP, they have some man see why. Because we are watching all the foreigners elevating in the country. And we the real Bahamians getting massive taxes and can't get $1 back. BME people sleeping on the car, sleeping on the park. Is that fair, Dwight? A rich country. That building right there on Market Street by the Southwell Park. I don't know why they don't convert it into homeless. I'm thinking 4 or 5 story. For our people to go. Our people in Domino, they just need help. Clean them up, educate them, and do things, man. Bahamas is one of the richest country in the world. Behind America and Canada and this region. Our money $1 by $1.
No. Well, okay. Not good.
Okay, Dwight, and I can say one more thing, Mr. Prime Minister. Pivot, man. Deal with some of these cabinet ministers, man. Remove some of them. Because they understand what you say. You tell people things and they don't do it. I'll go on, Dwight. Thanks for taking my call.
All right. Thank you very much. Well,
Remove them. You might as well keep them for now.
I'll make you. We're stuck with this one until. Okay. I hear you. I'm not sure about some of the things, but I hear you. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning to both of you.
Hi.
Good morning.
Well, you know, the Prime Minister sounds very sober and humble and positioning himself as the one who is in control. I don't know if you change the rules of what control you, whether you can change what you control. I guess Ms. Wilson is working on that. But it appears to me, because it appears to me that, like, we here. When the previous administration was in, she had issues. Mind you, this time the Prime Minister, I think he promised them, they didn't ask for this, he promised them, I think it's about money. They had issues. So I summarize it as this. If we continue doing this as a nation, walking in circles, progress will become the past, back to the past. And we seem to be doing that, just switching that back and forth. You know, I mean, we may build roads, we may pass laws, gang laws, we may hold elections, but Dwight, when you look at it, the underlying logic still remains unchanged. It's just circling the same old drain. And this is what we've been doing for how long? So I just sum it up as repeating historical behaviors, all these cultural conflicts. It's probably suggesting that indeed we are walking in circles rather than progressing upward. And I think Ms. Wilson needs to consider this, the Prime Minister needs to consider this, and the electorate need to realize that if we keep electing these two parties, one or the other, we going round in circles. That's my take.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Another call. Good morning. You're on the air. Hi, are you there? Let's take the other
I
call.
hope one of them is Miss Wilson.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. You're on the air.
Pleasant day, pleasant day. The Prime Minister have well spoken, but matter is still outstanding. You did said perhaps people are aware of promises made, not kept, or made without the intention of keeping. I heard, well, that's just from one person, that the promise was made for September, and the very same promise is now pushed back to December. Another caller mentioned that we actually should be working for the Bahamian people and showing our love for the Bahamian people. Now, I know the situation where an ambulance was called for a person who had collapsed. They said there was no ambulance right here in Nassau. Recently, very recent.
I think that happens every week, if not every
when
day.
the person got on their way to the hospital in private vehicle, the ambulance authorities, whoever they be, called and said, yes, we now have an ambulance. Please return to your location. We'll come and get you. And that happened, and the person is now deceased.
Oh, gosh.
Now, in addition to that, the flooding is going, every time it rains right now, my grandson is asking, Papa, is it raining? If it's not even raining, he's asking us when we quit. In waist-high water for his parents, and in 1 week, the same car dropped in two different potholes and burst tires. But there's so many things happening right now that it's even beyond just taking care of salaries. And what about the private teachers in other schools who are not even making 3/4 of what teachers should be making in the public schools?
Well, I guess
I say no more.
they have to take that one up with their bosses. But yes, I hear you. Lots of issues all around. Let's take. We got a couple more calls. Let's take these, and we'll get to your messages. And we got to take a break. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi. Good morning. You're on the air live.
Hey, morning, Dwight. Good morning, Chester.
Good morning.
Morning, Dwight. First of all, it was very in fact, I've learned in management that whenever it comes to payout and benefits, you should always pay out the lowest staff and lowest the highest. Okay, the one for the lowest totem pole.
Oh boy.
That was very disingenuous for the Prime Minister them to pay the senior civil servants first, because what he basically did was he put Hubert minutes next time for the poor.
Yikes.
So yes, people in power always need to show that the power of the people is greater than the people. Sorry, the power of people always need to show the people in power that their greater power is greater than the people. And so yes, the Wakers face unity is strength. So the Wakers need to show. They need to show their unity, and they need to show that they mean business. You don't treat them like that.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you
Have a
very
good
much.
day.
Thank you.
All right.
One final call on this. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi. Good morning.
Yes. Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Chester.
Morning.
Hi.
Hey, Dwight. Isn't it pretty amazing that the Prime Minister says that he won't deal with shouting and screaming, but he went and grabbed the largest mic in the country, the office of the Prime Minister's podium, to scream and shout at the unions, and kind of like threaten the other unions by saying, if you do what Belinda them do, I ain't going to talk to you either.
Well, I mean, that's how you see it, really? Okay.
I mean, here's the thing.
A bit of a stretch.
He said he heard something, Belinda them said something. Could not the Prime Minister easily have picked up the phone and verify or talk to them and say, hey, you don't need to do this, be in the middle of talking? But he came to the public and spread his message to say, vehemence, I'm paying all of the workers. See, this is what is called marketing, the sleight of hand. I'm paying all.
I mean, we don't know where that might have happened. Who knows? But in any event, we're here where we are now.
It's both right. The one thing this government has mastered is marketing success. There's no doubt of it, because why? Their entourage of marketing and media is larger than the media itself. Okay? Is that not true?
Well,
or close to being true?
It's larger than many industries in the country.
Okay, so the question is this. How could you promise somebody something if you have yet to determine what you promised them? That's what he's saying, because he's implying that they still working out the details. But why you promise me something you don't know what you're promising me?
No.
So that tells me this may be all about money. Clearly, the government is struggling. We see it in our function. The plantation is falling apart. The government is spending less. They're trying to say they're doing more.
So I haven't started yet. I know I opened it. Did you get to look at the salary review documents and getting out to you as yet?
What happens is I went halfway through it, and I would tell you, if I was competent enough to speak on it today, I would tell you I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
But I can guarantee you later today, in about another 2 hours, because I'm about to just digest it some more, I will likely talk to it because, you know what I did notice about it, Dwight? What is lacking from this is a salary review across the entire Bahamas. What I mean by that is that we've been talking about a lot of things like what we call livable wages and cost of living and all of those different things. This is what is sought to address within that.
Mm-hmm.
If the public service is a microcosm of the entire economy, and he had to take this action to do this adjustment, then it tells you about 200,000 people in the economy is missing what he's about to do to those. The question then becomes, what is your solution as we move into this last 20% of his term? What is he going to do to grow the economy that he hasn't done in the last 4 years?
Yeah.
That is a bigger question because all of us need adjustment, cost of living, all of these different things. And so this study shows that the problem is larger than that. But let me say this way. This study don't cover the 52 workers. It doesn't cover the casual workers. It doesn't cover the temporary workers. It doesn't cover the unclassified workers. None of those, and they all work for government and the SEOs. So what this study basically may show is that our problem is greater than the marketing that's being presented to us.
Okay. Thank you very much, Alan. Got to take a break. Let me read the break. This person says here, this is a sad day in our country, and it's so exactly where we are as, I guess it's saying this shows exactly where we are as a country if our leaders cannot negotiate with what we leave for our youth to do. Okay. The Prime Minister said the workers will receive their salary and the delay is the process. So why are the workers not working today? I think I understand your text. I think, I guess. And we're all asking similar questions. This person says here, please read my text. The information about the number men, 25 years extension yesterday. Was it the right information? The foundation is coming back at Guardian. If not, why? What do you mean? Yes, it's the right information. What did they say? They said that it was what? There was just something that was said months ago in a private communication or something like that. That's what they said. But that's what they said. What's the issue? What's your problem? In any event, they want an extension. If it's a month, it's too long. So let's not forget. Anyway, the Prime Minister is a king flammer. Wow, he had no intention on changing the date from December. What? What are you talking about? Anyway, the Prime Minister says he don't like cussing and carrying on, but the PLP seems to have no problem paying their social media mega trolls to do just that. Well, this one says, on the heels of the flooding, is there a communication solution from the Ministry of Works on, at minimum, signage to advise the public of risk areas during floodings?
Like big bottles?
If you see
flooded they got a cone
streets,
they got a cone in a hole by BAF now.
Don't drive through it. It's the biggest.
I fell in that one.
Don't do it. Don't drive if you see flooding. The Prime Minister said that fighting don't get you anywhere, but Lyndon Pinling said if you want something, you got to fight for it. Who do you believe? It's two different things. It's two different things. Screaming and shouting might not get you anywhere, but you got to stand up for your rights, and you have to, right?
I want to know if he was screamed
things
and shouted at and cussed at personally, or if he
have
just
you
means
met?
on the street.
I mean, some people are kind of loud.
Yeah, that's just how they talk. Like
Right.
Samuel L. Jackson said.
We're going to pick this up a little bit later. We're going to take a quick break. This is Morning Blend. Did you hear? We lost D'Angelo. The whole world lost D'Angelo. Young, 51.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Cancer's a thing.
My God. We'll play some of his songs this morning here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking is large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the know-how team at 396-1101.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards on this Wednesday morning. We'll get back into politics and all of that stuff a little bit later in the show. But it is October. It is Cancer Awareness Month. We'll start the discussion and pick it up after the news. But the Jenny Dean Cancer Caring and Sharing Support Group has been doing great work. Our very own Duquesa Dean is carrying on this important work and is back with us this morning along with Tonisha Smith. Ladies, good morning. Great to have you with us.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's great to be here.
All right, so Duquesa, you started off before we go to the news. We'll pick this up, as we said, after the news. But remind folks what the GD Caring and Sharing Support Group is all about.
Well, the Jenny Dean Caring and Sharing Support Group helps people through their cancer diagnosis in multiple ways. We help with financial. Also, we do a lot of other things, like a big focus on health and wellness with our programs like Step Into Wellness. We also have a pantry for people who have to decide between paying their bills and actually paying for treatment. We offer group meetings. We have just quite a number of initiatives that help to deal with the spiritual, mental, and emotional aspects of the journey, because cancer is a whole person journey. It is not the clinical, it's not just the clinical aspect, it's not just the physical aspect. And so we have a number of programs that help women mostly to journey through cancer in a way that allows them to retain their dignity and a good life.
Yeah. Powerful stuff. Okay, so we're going to pick this up in just a bit and talk about Tanisha's story as well and what you need the community to do, especially in this October Breast Cancer Awareness Month and beyond October. And we'll get to that when we get back. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us. We're back after the news.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Sherwin-Williams Bahamas doesn't mess about when it comes to product range and product knowledge.
If it's a new product come in the store, we walk the store and study that product.
One thing with our boss, if a new product comes in, he takes the time and keeping us up to date with product knowledge. And we just had 9 weeks of different products that we had to study, and we had exams at the end of each product.
Yeah.
The only way we could sell the product effective, we have to know that product. Yeah, that helps us to relate to our customers. It gives us better knowledge to know what product to introduce to them. You understand? So we can know what product to give them to use and what product not to give them to use. So product knowledge is really key in Sherwin-Williams.
They got the keys. And the key is the product knowledge that comes with our extensive product range at Sherwin-Williams Paints, Bahamas. Find color in every day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. And now at 8:28, it is time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. If you're ready to refresh your space, head to your local Sherwin-Williams for premium paint, pro tips, and everyday deals started. Here's what's happening. We've got a dissipating stationary front that's going to move swiftly across the central and southeast Bahamas today. Widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms occurring along and ahead of the boundary. Meanwhile, behind the front, dry, stable air and moderate winds will dominate the weather across the northern and northwest Bahamas. By Thursday, tomorrow, a dry, reinforcing cold front will enter the northern islands, gradually sweeping across the entire archipelago by the weekend. That's going to bring some spotty showers along the boundary, but fall-like temperatures, imagine that, are expected across much of the islands for the remainder of the week. And this weekend, high pressure will support a dry air mass and moderate to fresh breezes throughout as it drifts eastwards across the country. Beachgoers and swimmers are advised to continue to exercise caution, though, along Atlantic-exposed shores. That's as we head into the weekend. For now, for today, there is a marginal flood risk for portions of the central and southeast Bahamas and a marginal risk for strong to possibly severe thunderstorms across that area. Rip currents also a factor across most of the country along Atlantic-exposed shorelines and beaches. Your forecast for today for the northern half of the country, partly to mostly sunny, turning fair tonight, only about a 10% chance of showers, isolated showers. A different story for the central southeast Bahamas, partly cloudy to cloudy, a 30 to 50% chance of widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms for the central islands, and a 40 to 60% chance for the southeastern Bahamas. Temperatures today, depending on where you are in the country, the northern half of the country, highs 7 Fahrenheit, about 30, 31 Celsius. The heat index won't be a factor today. Overnight lows tonight getting down to around 76 Fahrenheit, 24, 25 Celsius. For the central southeast Bahamas, warmer today, highs around 88, 89, 90 Fahrenheit, about 31, 32 Celsius. The heat index will be a factor for the southeast Bahamas, making it feel like it's in the triple digits, around 104 Fahrenheit, 40 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 79 Fahrenheit, 26 Celsius. In your extended outlook for Thursday, tomorrow, partly sunny over most areas, partly cloudy near the frontal boundary as that moves through. a 10% chance of showers, 10 to 20% chance of brief showers. By Friday, partly sunny to sunny across most areas, only about a 10 to 20% chance of showers. That's going to hold for Saturday and Sunday, variably cloudy, a mix of sun and clouds for the central and southeast Bahamas. In the tropics, we still have Tropical Storm Lorenzo over the central tropical Atlantic, no threat to anyone, and tropical cyclone formation not expected through the next 7 days. That's your morning blend weather check. Weather check also brought to you by Easy. Charge into 2026 with one of the new EV models now in stock at Easy Car Sales. Sleek, smart, and ready to roll. Visit easy242.com or any Easy Car Sales location for your test drive. It's time for your traffic, brought to you by RBC. With RBC, your ideas happen here. So a reminder about Joe Farrington Road. If you can, avoid that area. There was work going on early this morning that interrupted water supply for residents in that area as well. But just not a pleasant place to be if you're driving. And we've got a number of streets with severe potholes, a number of tire destroyers. So keep your eye out for that. A lot of it hidden by flooded roads, so keep that in mind. In your real-time traffic, got a number of hot spots to tell you about. We're seeing heavy traffic on Milo Butler Highway from Fire Trail straight up through New Providence Highway, the six-legged roundabout. You're going to be seeing that, especially in the stretch between Fire Trail and Sports Center Road roundabout if you're heading northbound. And at the six-legged roundabout, heavy traffic for you on the JFK Drive side. That's eastbound. And back to southern, you probably got Carmichael Road, heavy, slow-moving traffic eastbound to Blue Hill Road from about Carmichael straight up to Independence Drive. Slow-moving northbound traffic, and that's going to pick up for you once you're north of that roundabout on the way to Cordo Avenue near Big Pond. Independence Drive, both directions, heavy traffic, east and westbound. And if you're heading westbound, look out for that tire shredder at the roundabout with Blue Hill Road. You won't miss it, but you don't want to be in it. And then there's heading into downtown. We're seeing heavy traffic as there is expected to be a demonstration there this morning in about half an hour. And already we're seeing the traffic be impacted by that if you're on Bay Street. Those are your hot spots right now. That's your real-time traffic. And brought to you by NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers, reminding you that if you need cover you can count on, you can buy motor insurance your way. Stop by your nearest branch or visit nuainsurance.com. Simple, secure, and ready when you are.
Plaza has so many stores, I've been trying to find a sensible way to list them all. There's CBS Bahamas, the Ashai Institute, BEMC Snack World, Bamboo Shack Bahamas, there, the Athlete's Foot, and BTC, Games and More, John Bull Fine Threads, Alive, Bahari, Dairy Queen, 700 Wines and Spirits, Sandy's Clocks and Island Lock, Starbucks and Lowe's Pharmacy, plus Marco's Pizza and Lorraine. Southwest Plaza, what a wide array of stores. Southwest Plaza, stop by today and explore.
This October, let's come together for hope, support, and strength.
It's the Sister Breast Cancer Support Group Dollar Day, happening Friday, October 17th from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on the grounds of the Nassau Guardian, Carter Street.
With just $1, you can help make a difference in the fight against breast cancer. Every dollar counts towards awareness, education, and support for women battling this disease.
Come on out, drop $1 and stand with us for a cause that touches so many lives.
Join us on Friday, October 17th from 7 to 10 a.m. and let's turn every dollar into hope.
That's the Sister Breast Cancer Dollar Day. Proudly sponsored by the Guardian Media Group, Star 106.5, and the Guardian Radio 96.9.
Don't think I'm sleeping looking at you. All of them wishing they could have you. And that's a matter of fact, a bunch of them itching for you to scratch them. I'm trying to hide the one with me. I'm trying to come with the rain. And I'm gonna make it known, 'cause I want them to know. You're my lady. Yeah. My lady. You're
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan, along with Chester Robards. We're talking with Jenny Dean Cancer Support Group, our very own Duquesa Dean, and Tanisha Smith with us this morning. All right, so we started before the break. I know that was a long break, Duquesa, but give us the year and what was the landscape like when Jenny Dean Cancer Support Group started? Was there much support and the type that you're offering here for breast cancer people enduring breast cancer?
So that is such an important question, Dwight, because in 2012, my mom started this cancer group because one of the challenges she personally felt while going through treatment and being home was like the four walls of the home was like closing in on her. Often when she was alone, there were these, thoughts about the struggles of the journey and all of the emotions that come up with that. And while she had support from groups, one thing that she found was social support and being among other survivors where they could just be comfortable and don't have to think about if anybody could see if they missing a breast or, people who understood what she was going through. So initially when she started in 2012, it was more of a social environment for cancer survivors to come in, to relax, to socialize, to share stories. And then when she passed away in 2017, I was asked to stand in as the interim president. And here I am 8 years later because we just celebrated her 8th year death anniversary on Heroes Day. So yes, she died on Heroes Day. And so since 2017 to now, we've become formally incorporated as a registered nonprofit in the Bahamas. We've brought a lot more structure to the group. We have our monthly support group meetings. We have guided healing circle meetings. And so more structure over the years has been put into the group, but all with the focus of meeting the emotional, mental, and spiritual aspects of the journey. So when women come into our family, they actually find other women who are open about the journey. They find people who are praying. So we pair them with, new people coming into the group. We pair them with a more seasoned survivor, and they can reach out to those people without fair judgment of what this person is going to think. And these people are not going to be tired of hearing your story. They're not going to be thinking, oh, why can't you get over this? Because they've been through that. And that's what a lot of cancer patients and survivors need, because just because you've done the physical treatment doesn't mean that you're fully healed. And so you still need the healing in your emotions, in your mental, and in your spiritual.
Wow. So
Tanisha,
so
we do offer the sessions. We have, the guided group therapy. Dwight, we give free prosthetic breasts. We give mastectomy bras. Every year we do an annual blood drive to aid the Princess Margaret Hospital. We have annual health challenges. We show up as vendors in different locations, just spreading the word. We take them on an annual grocery store tour to kind of help them understand how to fuel their bodies. Coach Melissa takes us through the store and help us to understand what food to eat, what food to avoid. We go to corporate Bahamas and give education talks. We have an annual Hope magazine that's just focused on survivor stories because people need to see that you can live after a cancer diagnosis.
Wow. So, Tanisha Smith, you are a group member and also a cancer survivor. Tell us your story, your journey here.
Well, hi. So good to be here. Thank you so much for asking. I was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer in 2022. And although that was the start of my personal walk with cancer, it was not my first experience with it. My mother was pre-diagnosed and predeceased in 2018 from uterine cancer. I had a great-grandmother that years before that. And even now, my grandfather battles a form of cancer as well. So by the time as I got my diagnosis, I had already had an understanding that this is a blood journey. This is a family journey that I too am now experiencing. So while it was pretty, it did disrupt. We always have plans for our lives. It did disrupt what I thought the plan for my life was at the time. But I can tell you, I was quickly joined with the Jenny Dean Caring and Sharing Cancer Support Group, and they were able to revitalize my faith and show me that while, I'm not alone, I'm not as vulnerable as I may think, and this is not the end of the road.
Now, did you find the group or did they find you?
Well, so somebody that I went to school with heard of my diagnosis, and she said, I think that this would be a good group for you to join. So I was actually recommended. Okay. And the kind of person that I am, it's not normal for me to just go ahead and reach out when given a contact like that. But for some reason I did, and I'm so happy that I did.
Yeah. So both of you can answer. So I know a few years ago, there was so much stigma. People wouldn't even say the word cancer. Have you seen attitudes completely change, or are we still dealing with that kind of stuff?
I don't know if I would call it a stigma, but immediately when you start to speak your story, people do seem a little bit remorseful or sad for you, right? I had one person that said, "My condolences," when they heard about my diagnosis. And I didn't understand it in the moment. I was a little bit offended because I'm like, I'm not dead. I'm not dying. This is not a death sentence. But since then, though, because I have grieved parts of myself, I understood the message, even if that's not the way that she meant it. I understood the message. But to answer your question plainly, I do think that there is still a thought regarding cancer, whether it is that, okay, well, you've been diagnosed, you only have so long to live, or, well, you've been diagnosed, your life is going to be forever changed. There is a particular thought process once persons hear that you are battling breast cancer or any kind of cancer for that matter. But I do think that there is so much information, so many living cancer thrivers and survivors that you cannot help but be filled with hope that this doesn't have to be, an end date for you. It doesn't have to be a bad stigma for you. In fact, I found so much of myself, I started enjoying life a little bit more after my diagnosis.
Wow.
I found God on my journey throughout my diagnosis.
Amazing.
So it's a double-edged sword, I would say, I guess,
Yeah.
I think to that, Dwight, I would say that we find the more younger cancer patients and survivors are open with sharing their story. The more mature people are a bit more reserved. And like Tanisha said, that could be because people pity, because they don't know. People don't know what to do when they learn that you have a cancer diagnosis. And that's why these voices are so important. And that's why we're all over the place educating people. So people begin to look at a cancer diagnosis the same way they look at a diabetes diagnosis or high blood pressure diagnosis, because it is a disease that you could fight and live. So that's what I find. The more mature people are private, and the younger generation seems to be more willing to share openly and widespread about their journey.
Yeah. I'm sure the answer is different for both of you, but what would you want people to say? What would you want to hear from folks who are learning about a diagnosis or your journey? What should they say? What shouldn't they say?
Well, go ahead, Tanisha, since your first-hand experience.
Well, even with first-hand experience, that that question is packed, it's loaded, because it would depend on that person's state of mind, right? So even as being a cancer survivor, when I speak to persons now, it is more so throughout, like DeQuesa said, that mental battle is something within itself, right? The mental battle and the nutritional battle, the physical battle, the emotional battle, they all require different kinds of messages. But for me, the biggest thing that I could say is to hold on to God, get close to God and stay there. Because, even through salvation, that increase of faith, it helps in every other facet of your life. It helps you to remember that even though things may be gray today, God has changed things in less time. So I just encourage persons by way of faith. I encourage them to change their diet immediately. It requires different messages. So I really cannot say what I would want somebody to say to me outside of that.
Yeah. I don't know if
And
you
I
can
would
answer
say,
the
Dwight,
question.
not to trivialize somebody's situation and to be dismissive of it. If you don't know what to say, it's okay to say, "I'm not sure what I want you to know that I'm here for you." Like that's it. Like we don't have to try to make up words to say that we support you. Silence is okay. Like sometimes they just need you to sit with them. You don't need to talk. If they talk, sometimes they're just venting. They don't really need you to come up with solutions. And so ask them, like, how can I support you right now? I hear you're sharing this. What sort of support are you looking for from me right now? I'm here for you. Like messages that show that you're not alone would be like the best kind, but don't trivialize them. Do not be negative and make them feel like, oh, so and so died after. No, we don't need that. We need your positivity, because when my mom is in the hospital, that's one of the things I did before anyone entered the hospital room. I let them know, you go in there and you speak in life. Don't come up in there, no sadness, no dryness, because she's going to feed off of that energy. So that's the message I want to send. Be positive with cancer patients and survivors.
Wow. Okay. I want you to talk more about what's going to be happening tonight and this weekend and how we can support. But we got a call. We got some messages coming in. Let's get to those first, and then we'll get back to that, DeQuessa and Tanisha. Okay. Are you there? I hear something. No? Call us back. 323-6232. 325-4259. 325-4316. 242-300-5720. All right, so this texter says here, I come from 3 generations of breast cancer. My great-grandfather, it started with him. Ms. Dean, thank you for everything that you're doing. Wow. Thank you. Yeah. All right, so you've got something tonight. Tell us about that, DeQuessa. What's happening tonight?
So tonight we have Dr. Edrika Richardson, better known as Dr. E, helping us to host a seminar virtually called The First Battle is in the Mind, Managing Fear and Uncertainty After Diagnosis. And so this is about the mental aspect of the journey. Tanisha, please help me pronounce our sponsor.
Intera Jamina.
Yes, it's sponsoring tonight's virtual event. We start at 7 p.m. We expect that Dr. E is going to give us tools and resources that can help us manage our emotions, manage our mental states as it relates to being a cancer patient, being a cancer survivor, being a caretaker. Caretaker feels the journey just as much as the patient does. So we encourage people to sign up virtually. The link is on our Facebook page. I'll send it to you as well, Dwight. Mm-hmm. And this is open to anyone. Just click the link, register, and you'll get the Zoom access information. The mental battle, everything starts in the mind. And so we want people to have the tools that are necessary to help them build the grit that they need as they care for cancer patients, as they are touching cancer patients in their families or in their workplaces. And also we want cancer patients and survivors to have this information, because you never get past your cancer diagnosis.
Wow. Okay. And again, that's tonight at
7 p.m.
Okay. Wonderful.
And then on
Saturday, we have a seminar with Dr. Delicia Bodie. She did this seminar for us last year as well. One of the things that happened in that seminar, Dwight, is cancer patients literally just understood their diagnosis because of how Dr. Delicia really broke it down. They were able to say, okay, now I understand even though they had been going through treatment, even though they were seeing doctors, they literally came what they were fighting and how to fight it. We had people in the room whose family members were cancer patients, and they just came to find out, what does this mean for me? So it's the What Every Woman Should Know About Breast Cancer seminar. That is in person at our office in East Avenue, Centerville at 9:30 a.m. on Saturday morning. We will be serving a breakfast afterwards as well. But this is an important place. We actually had two people attended 2 years ago, and one of them was not yet diagnosed, but her sister was diagnosed. She eventually was diagnosed and had to fight her journey. So she had this information in advance. So we invite anyone that has a family history of cancer. We invite any current cancer patient, survivor, caretaker to be in this room to get this vital information from Dr. Bodie.
And you just need to show up, or do you need to register for it?
There is a registration link, just to help us manage the numbers so that we're prepared with the correct amount of numbers for breakfast. We do have a registration link for that, but that is an in-person event on Saturday morning.
Okay. All right. Let's get to this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Got to stop hanging up. We're going to get to you in just a bit. Okay. So, Duquesa, this is great stuff you're doing, but you need help from the community to do all these things. Let's talk about that and what's needed.
Well, Dwight, we need support in various ways. Of course, we need financial support. Many people who don't have insurance, and even those who have insurance, you would not believe what that 20% amounts to when you have to come out of pocket with that. And so we'd like to offer as much support as we possibly can to people who are trying to pay for their treatment out of their pocket, and we need finances in order to do that. We also have what we call the Sunflower Pantry, because we are the Sunflower Warriors. We bring light and love into every room we enter. So our Sunflower Pantry is available for people who are in hard financial situations and are choosing between paying for treatment and feeding their families. So we have grocery available for them as well. We also give free mastectomy bras, a free prosthetic breast, because that confidence that a woman has, we want to help her hold on to that by providing those resources, even if you can't find it. We need finances to help us have our monthly group meetings, because there are spaces required for that, and that is at a cost as well. And so we're looking for financial donations. We're looking for donations to the pantry. And any donation, it doesn't matter if it is $1, like all of it adds up to help us do the work that we do and ensure medical care, support, anything that they need to actually survive. Now, I know corporate Bahamas is inundated with requests for support. And so we get a lot of no's. I mean, for every yes we get, we've had to go through 30 to 40 no's because the demand is so great in corporate Bahamas. And so while this is Breast Cancer Month, we're appealing to the general public, even if you can make a $10 donation, a $25 donation. If you're in corporate and you could make a larger donation, we would welcome those donations. They can come directly to our bank account. We even have credit card links that you can use to process your donations. You can drop donations off to our office. We have a couple of places, Dwight. They've been very supportive in allowing us to put donation boxes in their stores. And so if you have a facility where we can put a donation box in your facility, we would be grateful. And that way your patrons can drop their loose change or their dollar bills into those donation boxes. And then we actually have a fundraiser coming up next month. It is a night of music and entertainment. You can purchase tickets for that. There are so many different ways you can support. We need volunteers as well to help us. So if you cancer organization, please reach out. We need people that can help work in our office, distribute packages. When we have events, we need people that can help support. We need people who are able to talk to cancer patients and survivors. The need is great. The need is great.
Wow.
Can corporate even help with, I know you mentioned like meeting spaces cost you money. Can they even help with donating that meeting space?
Absolutely. So when we have larger meetings, yes, we do need donations of a larger space because our office can comfortably hold, I'd say up to 30 people. But outside of that, when we have larger events, larger meetings, education forums and such, yes, donating a space that we can use would actually be phenomenal.
Okay, let's take this call. This person's been trying to get in. Good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, morning, Dwight, and your guest. How you doing?
Doing well.
Good morning.
Hey, right now, I just want your guest, right, if she don't mind educating the public a little bit more about something, a lot of stuff we're doing and purchasing actually causes cancer. The California law regarding cancer, right, is Proposition 65, which requires all business establishments, right, to place labels on items that cause cancer or birth control or birth defects. For instance, right, your mouse pad, your keyboard, even your fridge and stove could have cancer-causing materials. So you could actually be causing yourself get cancer, right, and not even being aware of it. So I like for your guest, if she could reiterate, right, the public when they purchase items, if they don't mind reading the labels on the back of it, right, because even car parts and everything, right, have materials and they cause birth defects and cancer.
Okay. All right. The question, I don't know if you want to go down that road.
Yeah, I mean, that requires a whole show, Dwight, because
Yeah.
almost everything that
Yep.
we touch or consume has the potential of once it allows toxins to enter our bodies, it puts us in a position to be at risk for cancer just by having breasts. There's no prevention for breast cancer. Just by having breasts, you are at risk for breast cancer. But there are certain things that we do routinely, the products that we clean our homes with. A lot of them are toxic. A lot of the candles that we burn are toxic. A lot of the plug-ins, the scented plug-ins that we use in our homes, those are toxic. A lot of the food that we eat, if you look at the food labels, like one of the things Coach Melissa taught us is to shop the perimeter, but to shop the fresh foods mostly and making the choices that we need to stay healthy is also expensive. You're going to spend the money one way or the other. But, even with women, I want to appeal to them to look at the products that they're putting on their bodies, all of the lotions, all of the deodorants. Our bodies were meant to sweat. If you're using a deodorant that's keeping the sweat in your body, you're keeping toxins in your body. Even with your fingernails, your polish, all of these glues that we're using in our eyelashes, all this stuff, you have to do a lot of research. There's a lot of toxins involved in what we do every day.
Wow. Okay. Really quickly, you knew this was coming. Somebody's saying, well, what about the men?
We support men too.
Mhm.
Now, men have breast cancer. Usually, they would be men with the BRCA gene, but men have cancer generally, and we support anybody that shows up in need of help as best as we can. Recently, we have had to minimize the amount of support that we could give because our funding was low, which is why we really want to focus on bringing that funding back up. However, we do support men. It is a reality, and Dr. Pinto comes on a consistent basis to say that prostate cancer is neck and neck with breast cancer. But while we do support men with cancer, there's us too. Us too is a group just for men. It's put on by the Cancer Society. So if you are in need of support with your cancer diagnosis and you are a man, there are resources just for you. There are no women allowed in us too. So that's a space just for you.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Remind folks how they can reach you, how they can get in contact, volunteer, let people know everything they need to do.
Absolutely. And so our office is located on East Avenue. It's through the corner by Centerville Food Store. Midway through that corner on the right is a 2-story coral building. We are on the ground floor of that building. Dr. Mildred Hall is also in that building. So if you want to drop into the office, you can. This month, we have T-shirts, tumblers, all sorts of cancer paraphernalia, all sorts of things on sale. So if you haven't purchased your shirt or you haven't purchased those gifts yet, you can go down to our store and make that purchase, or you can drop off a donation if you want to donate to the pantry. If you donate to the pantry, we look for items like canned meat, good oils. We discourage grits and rice and that sort of stuff because those things cause inflammation in the body. And so you can drop off to the pantry or you can reach out to us by email at info@gdcancersupportgroup.com, and we can provide you with a list of the pantry items that we need. Additionally, our bank account information is listed on our website. Our website is gdcancersupportgroup.com. There's a donation page there. If you scroll down the donation page, there are links for $25, $200, $500. You could choose whatever amount you want and make your credit card donation. Our banking information is also on our website. You can transfer directly to our account at CIBC Bahamas.
Okay, wonderful stuff. DeQuesta Dean, thank you so much for the work that you're doing.
Yeah.
Tanisha Smith, thank you for sharing your story today. I really appreciate you. And
thank you. Hi, Chester.
Hi.
And again, this is Jenny Dean Cancer Support Group, Caring and Sharing Cancer Support Group.
Yeah.
Thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right, we're going to take a break for news. When we come back, it's Geospatial Week. You're going to find out what that's all about when we return. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Don't think I'm sleeping looking at you. All of them wishing they could have you.
The Paint Depot for interior and exterior paint, material and supplies, automotive, marine and industrial, Rust-Oleum, color wheel, joint compounds, sealers, and much more. We are your distributor for automotive art colors. We have pressure washers, ladder rentals, and accessories. Select any color and we'll mix it and deliver it to you. Family Island orders are welcome with bank transfers. Get your free quote today. Free delivery to the mailboats, homes, and businesses, too. The Paint Depot, number 151 Mount Royal Avenue. Open Monday to Saturday, 7:30 to 5. The Paint Depot. We supply all your painting needs.
One likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us because we've got you covered.
Don't wait for a storm to arrive. Stock up on hurricane supplies, make home repairs, purchase a generator, and more this hurricane season with a Fidelity personal loan. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
When it comes to hearts at Cleveland Clinic, you can't miss a beat. You seek the best care possible, work with the brightest minds, and leave no stone unturned to get to the heart of the matter. Because understanding is always the first step to overcoming. For every heart in the world, see how we're advancing the future of heart care at Cleveland Clinic today.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Looking for insurance that fits your lifestyle and your budget? At Star General Insurance, we've got you covered. Whether it's motor insurance with flexible options for third-party liability coverage or commercial insurance products that protect your business, we have choices you can afford. Own a home or renting? Our home insurance products have just what you need. And for the adventurers out there, we offer marine insurance too. Visit our website or social media pages for contact information and quotes. Star General, insurance made simple.
Craving something with bold flavors? Introducing the new Bacon Portobello Mushroom Melt, only at Wendy's. Enjoy our hot, juicy beef stacked with crispy applewood smoked bacon, savory sauteed portobello mushroom, and drenched in our rich, melty cheddar cheese sauce, all all on a warm toasted bun. Gotta be craveable, gotta be Wendy's. Available for a limited time only.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Wednesday, October 15th, 2025. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards. And did you know it is Geospatial Week at UB? What is geospatial? What is Geospatial Week? We want to know, and we're going to find out this morning.
Sounds like something I want to be a part of.
It sounds very interesting. We're going to find out from the Bahamas Association of Land Surveyors. We are expecting President Roderick Wood, and we've got with us Secretary Thomas Ferguson. Good morning. Great to have you with us.
Good morning, and thank you so much for being here. This is really a wonderful time for us here in the Bahamas because this is going to be the first time ever. This is our first event, and we're really looking forward to it. And we're going to get to that term, geospatial, because I know.
Yeah. I think, is this your president? Okay, Roderick Wood is with us. Good morning, sir. Great to have you with us.
Good morning.
All right.
To all the guests all the Bahamas.
All right. Good morning. So where do we begin? So let's talk about your association first, and then we'll get to geospatial. So the Bahamas Association of Land Surveyors. What exactly do you all do?
Okay. So first of all, the land surveying profession, we're the persons who are licensed and registered to conduct land surveys, predominantly for cadastral or boundary surveys. And our association is a body that's being formed by legislation to oversee the profession and to moderate differences between individuals, and also to advise the government on improvements or any upgrades in the profession.
Okay. So, how does geospatial, what does that, define that term, and how does this fit into this?
Okay, so geospatial is a relatively new term. It really, if I could break it down, it really relates to, say, collecting geographic data for that data, and then being able to analyze it and make decisions from it.
Okay, so what sorts of things are we talking about? Because off air, Thomas Ferguson was telling us that even with our previous guests talking about cancer in the Bahamas, that this information could be helpful in that way. So explain that to us.
Okay, so
Thomas Ferguson?
Let me just bring some context to that.
Mm-hmm.
So the Geospatial Week is a partnership between Civil Society Bahamas, the University of Bahamas, the BIOSI, which is the Bahamas Institute of STEM Innovation, Akeprin International, and Global Conversations Development, along with the Bahamas Association of Land Surveyors. Mm-hmm. And what civil society's main role is to ensure that conversations reach the kitchen table. And this is about empowering people with information. The Land Reform Forum is specifically designed to demystify the process and address common questions about generational property, about technology, how it can solve long-standing family disputes over land. Mm-hmm. And so there are many aspects that it deals with. Now, that's not the only thing that civil society does. Civil society is the umbrella organization for, unions. It's the umbrella organization for many of the associations for ZNS, radio stations, University of the Bahamas. So all organized.
Nonprofits too, right?
Nonprofits, specifically nonprofits.
Yeah.
And so something like your previous guests and the collaboration with them, and I'm sure we can have some type of conversations, all right? Because we definitely see that as an integral part of what we do here in the Bahamas. Now, unfortunately, the president of Civil Society Bahamas was unable to make it today because he has been going, all right? So he couldn't make it today. But I'll try to do a job. I'm sure I can't drag his slippers, but I'll do a little bit of a job for that. And so what you'll find is that bringing the voice to the people is what civil society is all about, and is about participation with not only the government, but with the people and with the organizations that make it work here in the Bahamas.
Okay. So it's coming into clearer vision, I guess, right now. All right. So the theme that you have is mapping the future of the Bahamas. It says explore that a little more, explaining exactly what some of the outcomes you're hoping will be.
Okay. So definitely in terms of mapping the future of the Bahamas, with everything we do, we have to involve the youth. We may not be here. Well, we're not going to be here. We're sure about that, right? So the only people who are going to be left are people. So we want to make sure that intergenerational involvement happens with this, because young people need to know about their land, about the island. Are they going to protect it? What about the boundaries? Of course, the environmental aspect of it. We have to know how we're going to save our country. Should we save it? Is that a possibility? So every question that you could think about is going to be considered for this particular forum. And the forum is Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And you can register on www.surveyorswebinar2025.com. And we encourage everybody to register, because this here has something for everyone. It has something for the youth. It has something for the adults. It has something for the professionals. So Civil Society Bahamas is about bringing people together, is about bringing information, about bringing experiences. And the Bahamas Association of Land Surveyors, and I'll defer this to the president, but we've just recently had a change of leadership, and there's a vibrant portfolio that he has, an agenda, and I'll defer that to him.
Yeah. Mr. Woods, tell us about that.
Yeah, so we've recently had our elections, and we've restarted the association, and we want to bring everything up to date with regard to the association, but also in terms of, say, Geospatial Week. We definitely are excited about this, and working with all the other, in particular the youth, to make geographical sciences exciting and to make it available to everybody for all the advancements that are taking place in society.
Okay.
So geographical science touches a lot of different things, I imagine.
It certainly does. And it actually begins in some areas when you talk about physics, you talk about maths, and it also deals with stuff like the new technology. We're talking about drones. We're talking about stuff like LiDAR. We're talking about high-grade GPS. So there's so much different types of equipment and high-tech equipment that is used to make the work better. Something was said to us some time ago that, hey, back in the day, they used to survey this thing and they just say, hey, it's about 200 acres, and we just, look at it like that. But we have such improvements in our equipment and our precision that we'll say, hey, it's no longer 200 acres. It's actually 210 acres or it's 150 acres. And also, too, we have to consider the fact that the way the environment works and the way our planet is, the coast, and we're an island nation like we are, in some places the land is either eroded, some places is built up. So you have accretion or you have erosion. And so we have to think about things like that. We have to think about the weather patterns. We have to think about disasters. We think about mitigating storms. Surveyors and geospatial experts are the ones who help with all of that, so that we make sure that we have better solutions. And there's also another part that we get involved as well, is the engineering, the construction, and bringing better solutions to persons, homeowners, landowners, etc.
All right. So, is there a caller we'll get to in a second? Is there an example of a country maybe that's really taken a hold of this and using this to their advantage? Or
Many
Okay.
countries do.
Many countries.
As a matter of fact, sorry, go ahead, Mr. President.
Yes, many countries around us are taking advantage of this advancement in science. All through the Caribbean, if I start as close to us as we can get, North America, Canada, the UK, all of these places have grasped this advancement and they are putting it to use. Some of the good things you can do with it, you collect the data, you know where the data is related to because it's geographical, but you can use it, you study it, and you can make changes that will affect how you, or you can make decisions then for the future. Like Mr. Ferguson said, comes on there's damage. You can use, say, data from the past. You can rebuild. So geospatial data is something that's here. It's not going to go away, but we want to be able to put it to good use, and we want to get the technology in hand so that we can make the best decisions using this geospatial data and this advancement in science and technology.
Any other examples?
Yes. For instance, if you notice, we had a storm in Abaco, Grand Bahama. Very, very serious storm. A lot of geospatial work was done, and those things are essential for any time you're talking about storms. We're talking about disasters, recovery, even monitoring. So all of those are important, and surveyors are critical in every single aspect of that. Surveyors and geospatial experts.
So this is to determine the viability of the land, or what exactly?
That's correct. So with some of the new technology, especially like with the LiDAR, we have what we call penetrating rays that go below the normal to get additional information.
Okay.
So there's also because there's two parts of this that really, really stick with geospatial professionals, and that's the land and the sea. Now, we actually use the air to collect information from the land and the sea. We also link into the space segment, so we link into the satellites, all right? So you'll notice that we have something called drones and drone mapping, where we would even what we call georeference that in order to make it more precise and to make sure that we're more accurate in it. You'll notice that really surveying has been really tied to the military. And you'll notice that there's some serious operations that go around the world, especially when it comes to war and those type of things. A good surveyor in the old days or the past would be the person who would go out ahead of the army and do the reconnaissance. So if you were a good surveyor, you came back alive. All right? If you weren't a good surveyor, we didn't need you anyhow.
Right.
God forbid you're surveying a minefield or something.
Wow. Okay. All right. So you mentioned Abaco and Grand Bahama after Dorian. So would you be able to determine whether there's been too much salt intrusion from the seawater and whether this is going to be viable for farmland or that kind of stuff?
Sure. Yeah. So what you will find is that it's a multidisciplinary type approach. Okay, so it won't be only just surveyors specifically, but it'll be surveyors and other geospatial experts, and you'd come to get an analysis. But everything begins with the base, which is the surveyor. They start the process on the ground, and then everything else filters from there, and it can be used in every other industry. You're talking about in police work. You're talking about in emergency services work, what they call our rescue and response. Okay, it's
taxation.
Sorry, go ahead, Mr. President.
Taxation and revenue.
Wow.
For the government in terms of real property tax, knowing where parcels are, knowing how much tax is supposed to be charged on each particular property. It's also going to be able to help in the medical profession to trace diseases or healthcare partners. So it's going to have a wide use.
Okay.
All
right. Let's take this call, and we've got a few more questions for you. Caller, good morning. You're live on the air. Hi, are you there? No, call us back. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. So are we doing much now in the Bahamas in terms of geospatial work?
Sorry, repeat the question.
Are we doing much right now, or are we just
Yes, it's something that's done daily. See, if we look at it, really, the origin of geospatial work or surveyors started from when Columbus came here. How did he get here? He had to map his way here, and he took measurements. So technically, he was the first surveyor, cartographer, because surveyors also survey on the sea. There's something called hydrographic surveying. And so if you look at it for the Bahamas, we're an island nation. So everything we do is related to the sea, to the waters, to the island. So we're perfectly poised for geospatial work, geospatial professionals, geospatial analysis. You'll find that even with the international people from space, there's some comments saying how beautiful the Bahamas is from space, and this is documented. When it comes to the international maritime aspect of it, there's certain parts of the world accepted norms that references the Bahamas as a reference, because there's so much that's related to our country, to our establishment, that is really, really wonderful and moving forward.
Yeah.
And please, if I may, I just want to mention something about the civil society aspect of this. There's something called land justice and natural healing. And those are some things that civil society wants to concentrate on.
Speaking of civil society, JT, Jerome Thompson, is joining us now.
Excellent. Please, if we could.
Good morning, sir. Great to have you with us.
God bless you, and good morning, Dwight, and thank you, and good morning to Mr. Ferguson and Mr. Woods.
Okay, so I guess you can explain to us from the civil society perspective why this is so important.
First of all, let me say that I'm a director of civil society. I'm also on the Research and Policy Committee, and I'm one of the members of the planning committee for this event. I want to acknowledge President Anthony Hamilton and our Vice President Marilyn Zonical of Civil Society Bahamas. This event is important simply because land affects everybody. So obviously none of us can't live on this planet unless we're standing on a piece of thing called Earth. Ever since the bills came into law in July of this year.
So sorry, could you tell them about the bills,
yes,
JT? Because
yes.
you're saying bills, and I'm
yes,
sure
my
we
apologies.
mentioned.
The Land Adjudication Act and the Land Registration or Registry Act. Basically, one will have to do with registering your land once it's properly sorted out. And the other one has, the Land Adjudication Bill has to do with getting your land properly titled, knowing what you have, knowing that you have to get it sorted out, and if you don't get it sorted out, you could lose it. So the Land Adjudication Bill is the single most important act that I think will affect every Bahamian in a crucial way, because Dwight and the listening audience, so many of us have or are tied to families with generation property. Now, that terminology, I understand, is not really a popular one. And Section 21 of the Land Adjudication Act, which is a companion to Section 20, the previous act before it, basically lets you and me know the types of lands that would be secured. If you have generational land, if you have commonage land, if you have crown land, it tells you how long you would be able to be on that land in terms of securing it for your family's ownership. And then Section 22, which is the key of the Land Adjudication Act, basically says that if after all of the knowledge that one has or don't have, if your family does not secure clear title, legal ownership, to your generation property, whether it's 1 acre or 1,000 acres, that will automatically become crown land. Means that your family, if you don't take care of your land, you will no longer have. So what this forum is wanting to do, starting tomorrow at UB through Saturday, is to really educate the Bahamian public as to these concerns that we have as Bahamians and how we go about basically going through the process of getting clear title to the property. Because Mr. Ferguson can tell you as a surveyor himself, it's expensive for a lot of people to survey and protect their land. So we want to help the Bahamian people with information as to how to come together, how to work together to be able to make their land security a reality for them. Because we all need it, Dwight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting a message here from the marketing director, Mrs. Lolita Moxie.
Okay.
Now, she said to make sure and let you know that she appreciates everything that you've done for us. Okay. Right?
Not a problem.
Okay,
Not a
and
problem.
secondly, she said to me, tomorrow is the official launch of the Geospatial Symposium, the Land Forum, and this is only the beginning. This event will be an annual one.
And
Now,
if I may interrupt you just for a second there, Thomas, just to add what you were saying.
yes.
The title, and my apologies, Dwight, and listening audience, the actual official title of the whole event is Civil Society Land Forum and Geospatial
Okay.
Event. So it's a partnership between civil society as the civil society umbrella and geospatial as one of the...
All right. So who should be there tomorrow? And how
Anybody
do
and
we...
everybody.
Any and everybody. And how do we sign up? What do we need to do? Can we just show up? How does this work?
Sure. So the spaces are moving fast. So you are able to come in person and sign up in person at the registration desk. However, you're encouraged to register online, and the online account is www.surveyorswebinar2025.com. And so we want to hear from the entire community. And this is not to be just Nassau-centric. So
it's
we
about
want
the whole country. Yeah.
it's about the country. So we encourage everyone, especially the Family Islands, to join online and ask your questions and be a part of shaping the policies that affect you.
Okay.
So this is another thing we want to mention as well. There are going to be watch hub parties in each of the islands. And so we're going to identify for you where if you can't get online, you can go to this watch hub party, and it's going to be moderated so you can get online and get access there and make sure your voice is considered. Because, this is about, the grassroots of this country, because and it wants to bring land justice, which means there's information and it's also partnership.
So just be clear, on the Family Islands is some place that you can go to watch if you don't have access.
If you don't have access.
Right.
And so we're partnering with persons on the islands, and what we will do, we will publish where the centers are. Okay? Because you can go there and you can actually access. In Abaco, the one that I'm certain of right now is relative to the Small Business Development Center, and I'll provide that a little bit later. So if
Okay.
you give me a chance, I'll give you that information.
Sure. JT?
Yes, sir. Well, one of the things I wanted to definitely acknowledge is to acknowledge the intervention and the hand of God in all of this, because listening audience, believe me, as we all know, when it comes to making things happening, sometimes you're pulling out your hair that you even got because you're going through so much stress to get things done. So this is the first one, as Mr. Thomas indicated, and it's a labor of love, and it's something that we're all passionate about, and we also want to give full credit to the University of the Bahamas. This event would not have been happening today if the University of the Bahamas did not step up and show us to be the stellar partners, civil society partner that they obviously are. So God bless them, and thank you one and all at UB for allowing us to be on your campuses for the next couple of days or few days to be able to make this event happen.
Yeah. Okay, so again, tomorrow, what time? And again, it's the 16th through the 18th. So then at what time?
Okay, so generally we have a schedule for each day. So day one, we want that to be the policy day, where everything is laid out as to what is actually related to the new laws and what is happening in terms of international practices and what is relative to the Bahamas. Day two, we want the community to really have input. We're going to have it so that you have live input either day. All right. So the second day of day two, and day three will be our wrap up, where we want to actually come up with an action plan. So this is not going to be like a regular symposium forum. We're going to actually have some action from this. We don't want it to be all talk and then later on it fizzles.
Right.
There's going to be an action plan that is going to be able to be presented, and this is going to come from the community. So whatever you present as your ideas for your island, for your community, for your neighborhood, will be incorporated inside this final civil society action plan. Even the youth, because we're going to have a youth forum. The youth are going to come up with their action plan, what they'd like to see happen. And that's going to be incorporated inside the civil society forum. And I'd just like to add that two of the watch parties that we've already identified and as well, one in Abaco will be across the street from Jake's, upstairs next to the GRM agency, and it's called Access Accelerator. Okay, that's in Abaco. In Grand Bahama, it'll be at UB's campus for the watch party in Grand Bahama. And those are just two. We have many more coming. All right, so...
And if I may add to that, Thomas, not to forget the fact that the opening ceremonies will start at 9 o'clock.
9
tomorrow
o'clock.
morning. And prior to that, of course, we're going to be receiving and sitting the guests. You want to give a little idea as to the opening ceremony lineup, Thomas?
I would prefer if you probably give an idea for the opening lineup, right?
Okay,
just give a
tomorrow
brief
morning, of
idea.
course,
Yes.
The opening ceremonies are just that. But we are hoping to have the Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, Philip Brave Davis, to give the keynote at the event because, like I mentioned earlier, the government just passed those two bills into law in July of this year. So we definitely are looking forward to having the government's point of view, but to have the Prime Minister kick us off with that keynote tomorrow morning. We're going to be having, of course, a number of presentations in the opening ceremony. One of the things that we're also looking at doing, and I'm very humbled by this, a historical point of view. Rex Major, the Reverend Rex Major, who gave the opening prayer or the prayer blessing on our independence night. Philip Raming are scheduled to play a very, very important role in the opening ceremonies tomorrow, having to do with the Constitution of the Bahamas. So it's I'm not saying everything because I want to keep a little, but it is planned to be a very interesting and necessary event for sure.
All right, so 9 a.m. and where exactly at UB?
Okay,
Thomas?
so at UB, the Performing Arts Center, for some people who are not as young as the others, we'll say the old GHS. All right.
The old GHS
auditorium. There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
So is everything going to be happening there for the 3 days?
What it is that we're going to have 3 breakout sessions. So what you do is your registration would be there. So you come in for registration. We'd have our general sessions there every morning. And then we'll split into the different areas.
Okay.
Because the focus of the youth is going to be a little bit different from the focus of the adults. Also, we're going to be able to cater to professionals. So that's another third area that they would be as well. And so we'll give some things relative to professionals because they may want to go deep into the accuracies and the tolerances and all that type of thing. So we're going to split up a bit into...
Could you mention the other venues, Thomas, please?
Yes, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just mentioning the venues right now.
Yeah.
Yes, so we'll have 3 of them, and so we'll split into those. So whichever one is most important to you, you will attend that particular one.
But they're all on the campus.
All on the campus.
Okay.
Everything is contained at the University of the Bahamas.
And is it all day? Are you looking?
Yes, it's generally all day because we're saying from 9 till 5 generally.
Okay.
And,
For all 3 days.
For 3 days. And we're going to have a wonderful expo as well, so you'll be able to get your lunch there, your breakfast, etc. We're going to have some Bahamian things there.
Okay.
All right, we're calling it Bahamian things because this is a Bahamian problem.
But you have to register.
You have to register. So you have to go online and register, and then we go from there. Now, if you need assistance with registration, we have made contact with the administrators, and we're going to seek to see if they can provide assistance for you, because some people may have challenges registering on the form. And if you have challenges, they can assist you to register. And also at the watch parties, you can also register there as well.
All right, so we're running out of time. This person's asking, caller will get to you in a second. This person's asking, what if you have to work? Are you having anything at night?
We initially didn't plan anything at night, right? The reason for that was we're going to have something on the Saturday. The Saturday is going to be the final day. And so you're welcome to join for the Saturday. But generally, we didn't plan anything for the night. Now, I just want to let people know this is our first event, and this is not the only one. We have some excellent things planned because, again, we don't want this to be just a regular symposium where just come there and you just leave and that's it. We want follow through.
Okay, let's take this call. Running out of time, as you said. Good morning. You're on the caller. Are you there?
Hey, good morning.
Hi.
Hey, good morning. And good morning. I think I heard Chester there in the background.
Good morning.
Yes, I wanted to ask a question. When this is over and done with, will there be a website that I can go and get the same information on to find out, like to catch up on whatever in the event that I may have a question or a child of mine may have a question later down? You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, we understand. Well, definitely we will have a website, but we're encouraging you to attend because...
No, I understand that part. I know the attending part, but I mean like for later on, like for a refreshment that I can go on and read upon it and get some of the same information.
Certainly. As a matter of fact, we're going to have more events because this is not going to be the first one.
Yeah, I heard you said that you're going to make it an annual thing or something like that.
It's going to be annual, but also in addition to that, we plan, because again, we don't want to be Nassau-centric, we plan to make a move through the islands as well, because this is to make sure that we bring the information to the people, we bring the beauty and the exposure, both the international and local exposure of civil society Bahamas to the people, that we've been serious. We've actually already started writing for grants and getting funding to help those who are not able to get the legal work for the properties themselves. And so we've gotten some positive feedback from that, but we're serious about this, and we're trying to make sure that those who cannot afford it, that we can bring assistance to them so they can afford to get their properties sorted out as well.
And to make it clear on that very important note, unfortunately, we won't be able to have that assistance available this weekend, but it's the plan for the Bahamas, for Civil Society Bahamas and BIOC and others to definitely put things in place to help Bahamians to afford or to be able to pay to get their land surveyed and appraised, but that's coming in, that's for the future. And to answer the lady's question, ma'am, we do intend having a website up so that after this event, the information will be available, because it's important for everybody to continuously be aware of what their rights and their possible liabilities could be if they don't know what they need to know about protecting their land.
Okay.
Okay.
One final... Yeah.
Sure. Okay, so I want to just tell everybody, please register. www.surveyorswebinar2025.com. And we're going to entertain registration in person. But I'm telling you, this is a first-come, first-served basis. And we found that a lot of people are concerned about their land and about land in the Bahamas. So you need to register now so that you don't miss your space. Okay. Thank you very much.
And again, it begins tomorrow at University of the Bahamas at UB here at Oaksfield. Okay. Very exciting. I'm sure you're going to be back to keep us posted on how things went and how things are going. But it's great that we're getting this conversation started. Thank you all for joining us this morning. Roderick Woods with the Bahamas Association for Land Surveyors, President, and of course in studio, Secretary Thomas Ferguson, and JT, Civil Society Bahamas, Jerome Thompson. Thank you so much for all of you being here.
Thank you.
And a shout out to Lolita Moxie for getting this together.
Yes, and she sends her and she conveys her greetings. Right.
Thank you very much. All right, good luck with Geospatial Week.
Wonderful.
We're going to take a break and be back with our final few minutes of Morning Blend Business here on Guardian Radio 96.9 Students.
Are you searching for something new? Something exciting? Your dream job in paradise? Well, look no further. Royal Beach Club Paradise Island is hiring. Join a dynamic group of passionate hospitality moments and thrive in a vibrant, welcoming atmosphere. Play your part in shaping the future of our team while growing your own career every day. Bring your energy, your passion, and your creativity to a workplace that's as dynamic and fun as you are. At Royal Beach Club Paradise Island, the opportunities don't just exist. They're limitless. So are you ready to find your perfect fit? Visit Royal Beach Club at paradiseisland.com/career today and step into a world of exciting possibilities.
In uncertain times, resilience is everything. That's why CFAL is inviting you to the Financial Services Event of the Year, the 2025 CFAL Pension and Economic Conference. It all happens Thursday, October 16th at 8 a.m. at the Grand Hyatt Baha Mar Convention Center. Under the theme Resilience in the Face of Global Uncertainty, this half-day conference is your chance to gain powerful insights on navigating today's shifting global economy. This is the premier networking and knowledge-sharing event of the year, and you cannot afford to miss it. So secure.cfal.com.
Don't wait for a storm to arrive. Stock up on hurricane supplies, make home repairs, purchase a generator, and more this hurricane season with a Fidelity personal loan. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
It's time to upgrade the way you enjoy at-home entertainment. Alive Fiber is here. Enjoy all your favorite channels and streaming apps, all at lightning-fast internet speeds with affordable bundles, and it's only a click away. Visit www.alivefiber.com to sign up now. Stay connected, live your life. It's good to be alive.
This October, Bahama invites you to indulge your senses at the Culinary and Arts Festival, where world-class flavors meet breathtaking creativity in the heart of the Bahamas. Join us October 22nd through 26th for an unforgettable celebration featuring culinary legends Marcus Samuel Sakini, Simeon Hall Jr., and Scott Conant, alongside a vibrant lineup of chefs and mixologists. Explore captivating art installations, interactive workshops, and live performances, all set against the stunning backdrop of Nassau's premier luxury resort. From curated tasting events to beachfront feasts and immersive gallery experiences, this is more than a festival. It's a feast for the soul. Tickets and packages are going fast. Visit bahamar.com to reserve your spot at the Culinary and Arts Festival at Bahamar, where taste and talent take center stage. This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
It's time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. Environmentalists have rejected lawsuit threats from oil and gas company Challenger Energy Group related to the non-renewal of drilling licenses in Bahamian waters. Executive Director of BREEF, Bahamas Reef Environment Educational Foundation, Catherine McKinney-Lambert, telling Guardian Business that the oil company's threats are, quote, ludicrous, especially given that they still apparently owe money to the Bahamas from the leases that expired over 4 years ago. She says, according to their financial statements, the company is also in conflict with the insurers over top-up insurance that was reportedly not paid, And at the time of the failed drill, they never received clarity on what insurance coverage the company had. Read more on what they're saying in today's Guardian business section. The Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation, BAIC, and Canada-based manufacturing company Ontario Inc. Signing a memorandum of understanding to launch a line of red Scotch bonnet pepper products under the Bahamian Heat brand. Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources Jomo Campbell says the launch is a bold step forward in transforming Bahamian agriculture. He says the MOU marks the birth of Bahamian Heat, a line of premium hot sauces and consumer products that will take the flavors of the islands far beyond the shores of the Bahamas. And the largest luxury travel show in the hospitality industry just wrapped up at Bahama Resort, attracting some of the world's leading travel advisors. Director of Global Sales in the Ministry of Tourism, Dupree Smith, explained that the event, the International Luxury Travel Market North America 2025, the ILTM, attracted hundreds of exclusive buyers and travel advisors, saying that they have co-branding opportunities with ILTM. You can read more in today's Guardian business section. In your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Monday, your market movers, Consolidated Water, closing at $7.02, up 30 cents. Emira Incorporated, down 10 cents, closing at $11.86. The BISX All-Share Index, closing at 3,039.06, up 0.19. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Let me tell you about this girl, maybe I should. I met her in Philly, and her name was Brown Sugar. See, we be making love constantly, that's why my eyes are a shade blood burgundy. The way that we kiss isn't like any other way that I be kissing when I'm kissing. What I'm missing, won't you listen? Brown sugar, babe, I guess high off your love, I don't know how to be. Brown sugar, I want some of your brown sugar.
Chester Robart's trying to tell me he doesn't know the song.
I said I don't remember all of that lyric loving in the beginning there.
So you weren't a fan of D'Angelo, is that what you say?
It's not an avid listener.
Oh, I see. Interesting. Well, okay. Anyway, so our final few minutes here. I want to get through a lot of your text messages and what we were talking about. So I guess it's happening now. Have you heard of what's going on downtown?
I haven't seen anything.
Nothing yet, right? Or what? What are we missing? But you might want to avoid that area if you can, where the protest is expected to go on. So we got a lot of your text messages from earlier that we didn't get to. Let's see if we can get through those. People sending their messages about whether this action makes any sense, whether the Prime Minister's address was necessary, whether any of this, what's going on really. So let's get to this. This person says here, we need to ask the Prime Minister if progress looks like unaccountability about our country's finances. Pay your bills on time, or is your inability to do so due to poor choices? What you implied was the average Bahamian has issues with money. That's what the Prime Minister implied? Interesting. Okay. I don't know what's happening. Okay, the pre-recommended national address with no, I think they meant to say pre-recorded. Is that what they meant?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. National address with no substance. Which Christmas are the people getting paid?
No.
Well, maybe that's why the unions are concerned. When they want a definitive date of payment, because before Christmas could be any Christmas. Furthermore, the Prime Minister must realize he himself is an employee of the government. How can you sit and talk about when the Prime Minister decides to insult the people by canceling the meeting? This kind of response can cause chaos in the country. Interesting. This texter says here, as a nurse, I do support the actions of Mrs. Wilson and Mr. Ferguson. The Prime Minister is saying he gave a gift from his heart. Well, when he first started, the gift was 3 to 8% across the board, retroactive to September 2024 for everyone. Then the highest paid got straight with that arrangement. Then his heart changed, and he wanted to go back on his word and now offer 2 increments and retroactive to September 25. In my opinion, the Prime Minister is not genuine. And can you explain how he's giving me a gift from funds that belong to the country? It's our money. I bet he, along with political persons, got their gift first.
Yeah, somebody, I think it was Javago Lang, was talking about that language that he used from his heart, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people didn't
like
respond well to that.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not wrong.
Mm-hmm. It is odd. Prime Minister Davis sounded like a lawyer. He said a lot without saying anything, all talking about coming up with ideas. People are tired of talking and not getting anything done. People get tired and frustrated when nothing is done except talk and false promises. Well, that is true. This person says, Brave, the Prime Minister has become arrogant. Dude, them can travel at the drop of the dime, but waste time to pay people. You work for us. Not the other way around. It's about time these unions get up, spirit, and fight for something. These politicians don't care about nobody except themselves, friends, family, lovers. That's the text.
Foreigners.
What? Oh, wow. Okay. The unions did not indicate that the government is in breach of industrial agreements, so this call appears to be politically motivated. More crackhead games, gentlemen. While respect must always be the foundation of any negotiation, particularly when dealing with our nation builders, our teachers and public servants, the Prime Minister's recent statement strikes a troubling chord, referring to himself in the third person and declaring, quote, Brave, don't play that. Did he say that? Did I miss that?
Sure did.
He did? Brave, don't play. Projects more ego than empathy. Leadership, especially in times of strain, demands humility and focus on resolution. I must have blocked that part out. Not reputation. The real issue isn't about personalities. It's about ensuring our children receive every opportunity to overcome our deepening education crisis. The Prime Minister's energy should center on solutions, not self-assertion. The nation deserves focus, not flair.
Well, I'm not sure if he said don't play that, but he did call his own name.
Brave.
Which was...
Maybe he was talking about people.
No, he was talking about
He's
himself.
the one true brave one. Okay. Dwight and Chester, I humbly request that the Prime Minister remember those public library staff who have been working for decades and have not been regularized as public servants. Oh, dear.
I'm sorry.
Oh, well,
say what?
That's sad. These hardworking people can't even get promoted unless they become P&P. Oh, my.
Really?
Well, that's very sad.
I hate to say this, but I have never thought about them at all. That's terrible.
Boy, I tell you. This person says here, how can the caller include COI? What's this? What was the caller saying? Okay, anyway. Lincoln Bain and the COI have never yet had a chance in Parliament. PLP, F&M have been in power, and they have raped, and robbed us, for 52 years. They're drowning our country. Our boat is too full, with absolutely no progress for Bahamians. None at all. Wow. Only for the rich and foreign.
Nothing, not a new sentiment?
But is it extreme? Is it
That's how people feel.
Over the top. Okay, interesting. The Prime Minister must understand that the union speaks for their members. We are unhappy. We want our promotions to be made permanent, and we want our allowances. We have bills
Whoa.
to
They
pay.
have plenty bills.
Yeah, boy. Do not disrespect our union. Where is the complete salary review? And tell Pintard we're tired of the games that both of them play. Mm-hmm. Okay, just a few more. This one says here, yes, this is back to our guest. Mrs. Dean was a great lady. May she rest in peace. This is Mrs. Mom.
Yes, absolutely. My friend Jenny.
This is a text here. This is the same reason why we need more foreign workers for times like these. Oh, boy. So while the cursing and screaming is going on in the streets, the kids can be learning in school.
That's terrible.
Texter, boy, this is a thought you should keep inside. Let's see how the teachers from the Philippines would appreciate those same salary benefits. Because trust me, the politicians' children will be in school regardless. Okay. Boy. And Dwight, this was an opportunity last evening for the Prime Minister to provide the day, date, and time when the monies would be paid. He said a lot of nothing last night. The Prime Minister is making it more difficult rather than unnecessary, or making unnecessary promises are a comfort to fools. No money, no votes. Oh, boy. Yikes. Okay. Well, there you have it. Tell the Prime Minister to give us our money.
Oh, boy.
And this one says there's so many people in government schools working for almost more than 5 years who have not become permanent. There's so much to do. Wow.
More than money. More than just money.
Yeah. Well, we will see. We'll see what comes out of today. We'll hope everything works out. And, we hope the Prime Minister gives some specifics on the December pay period and say which year. Put some people's fears, allay some fears, right?
Yeah.
But wow. Chester Robards, thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
DeQuest and I are going to be out tomorrow at CFAL's pension conference. You're going to be joining us.
DeQuest?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah?
I will be joining you.
Okay, wonderful.
I mean, when I say joining you, I'll be there.
You can stop by where we are and hail us.
Sure.
Everybody have a great day. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green coming up next.
Brown sugar, babe. I guess high off of love, don't know how to do it. Brown sugar. Oh, some brown sugar. I want some